I heard this story from a young man in a bar, whose name is Alexander, and I thought I'd share his horrific experience with you a few years ago. It was one of those moments that makes you wonder about the reality of the paranormal. The following are all events on behalf of my casual acquaintance Alexander. It all started the day I happened to come across an old book in an antique shop. The cover was worn and the pages seemed old and yellowed from time. The book was called Black Secrets, and its warning title seemed like some sort of foreshadowing. He who awakens the demon will pay the price. My rational mind told me it was just a hoax and I shouldn't take such things seriously. However, curiosity won out, and I decided to study the contents of this book. I spent the next few days immersed in mysterious stories of demons, summons from the dark world, and those who dared to play with unclean powers. Eventually, I came across a chapter that described an ancient demon summoning ritual. It was a description full of mystery and darkness, and I couldn't resist the temptation to try it in practice. My skeptical thoughts were drowned out by the excitement of the adventure, and I decided to take action. I set up in a secluded spot, illuminated only by the pale light of the moon. Following the instructions in the book, I began to cast ancient spells, summoning dark forces from the depths of hell. At first nothing happened, and I even felt like a fool playing children's scary stories. But suddenly the air around me began to fill with a cold whiff, and strange shadows began to flicker in the gloom. My resolve faltered, but I kept repeating the incantations. And then, as if from the depths of the darkness itself, an image appeared before me that made me shudder. A demon, with blazing eyes and horns, stood before me. His presence was so powerful that all my confidence shattered like grains of sand. He spoke in a voice that sounded like the creaking of ancient doors, and his words penetrated the very depths of my soul. "You have summoned me, human. Now you must pay the price." From that moment on, things began to unfold rapidly. My life became a nightmare. I had nightmarish dreams in which the demon stalked me across the vast emptiness. Every step, every breath was filled with a sense of unseen threat. My sanity began to succumb to the pressure of an unholy force. I could hear the demon whispering in the silence, heralding misfortune and doom. I realized that the summoned forces would not leave me alone until I paid their price. Gradually, I lost control of my life. The signs of the demon became apparent in reality, shadows moving on their own, flickering lights in the semi-darkness, but I was the only one who noticed them. My loved ones thought I was insane, and I became an outcast in my own eyes. One day, when I was alone in my house, a demon appeared to me in a dream. His eyes were full of a sinister glow, and his voice pierced me like a blade. He told me that the only way to get rid of its influence was to sacrifice my soul to it. I woke up with sweat on my forehead, realizing the choice before me. My heart was breaking with pain, but I knew that if I didn't make a decision, the demon would haunt me to my grave. I made my choice and sacrificed my soul to the demon. From that day on, the demon disappeared and my life became quiet and peaceful. However, the price I paid left a deep scar in my memories. I realized that playing with dark forces is a dangerous occupation, and no one should lift the veil of secrecy that lurks between our world and hell.